These are some of my favorite episodes to do, which is the recap episode when we have a guest on. And what a treat to have Jason be able to come on here. And the fact that he just lives in Spokane, it goes to say just how cool it is. And who knows, like, and even the areas you live in, what businesses have started in the area that you're in. But to know that he started his business right here in Spokane. And I said it on the podcast, but I found out about Fireball Tool a while ago, and we had purchasing their stuff. And then to find out later on down the road that they're here and be able to go see their facility, it was absolutely incredible. But the cool part, which I hope a lot of you took away from the episode, was that it was not at all easy to start the business like he did, but he took the risk. And I know that there's a lot of people watching who are kind of fighting that same thing, which is, I got this idea, there's something I want to do. There's definitely a risk factor, but even just talking to someone like Jason after that episode, to hear that, you know what, I had this idea, I knew I had this product, I knew it was a good product because I wanted the product. He went to his first semi show where he basically was set up in a parking lot, and he sold out of that. And then he had to fully commit and just said, you know what, I can go to my dad for money. His dad said, no, I'm not going to give you a fund up front to support this, but it made him do it himself. And to take that risk and take that on, it really truly does bring just absolute chills to me, because we went through the same thing during the startup, my wife and I, which is like, hey, we're going to do this. Okay, well, I'm going to sell my truck. I'm going to do what I have to do to get the first trailer, which, is a non-tilt trailer, just going to go to the coast. I'm going to start grabbing boxes and start bringing them back. And we did it that way for the first little bit. And it's a scary time. But to be able to have someone like that sitting here talking through his story and then know where he is now, it's just a huge testament to him as a person. It's a huge testament to the risk that he took confidently to jump into that. But the encouragement to everybody, hopefully, in watching these episodes, is to realize that it's not something where you just get this idea and you go and you start doing your own thing, and then all of a sudden it's just successful. There's struggles in it. And you could even hear him. It's like, he goes on to this media platform now that he has to go out and sell his products, and he hates being on camera. I mean, he literally, he's told me that now a few times, which is like, I hate being in front of the camera. I was like, how can that be possible? You have 1 million+ subscribers, but he ponies up and he does it because he knows what has to be done. And he gets his product out there to the end customer. And it's the way to do it. I mean, social media now is completely changing the game for small businesses. I think about even our business right now. We've been doing things for a while and we've been doing well, but then we got a social media and media department, and it's just gone crazy. The things that we have at our fingertips right now, and I don't know if it's a short window that we're going to have, and if AI is going to start doing a lot more and all this, but the resources that we have at our fingertips to grow our businesses is wrapped around media. And this is something I really haven't talked much about, but media gives you the ability to get into people's living rooms at the times that they want to hear things the most. You're going home that evening, you're laying in bed, maybe you're on the couch, you're at dinner, whatever the scenario is, maybe you do a couple quick scrolls, and you're just scrolling on Facebook, and you kind of get down that realm where you're just scrolling, and you get content out there that people want to see. That is the new Salesforce for business. Is if you want to get out, if you want to start something, there is absolutely zero excuses not to go out and do it, and Jason's a testament to that. You have zero excuses to not get out there and do something. And for the younger generations now who are already on social media, who are already scrolling, it takes work. I'm not going to say that it's easy. Adding in that little bit of the social media and getting on platforms to start pushing your product does add a totally different amount of stress. Because like I said in the last episode, the episode before that, is it does take a lot of work to get on and to do this stuff and to edit it and get it. But if you're going to start a new business, the number one thing that you should be looking into outside of the product or the service or whatever it is that you're doing is to start getting out there on social media and start interacting with the community. And like Jason said, it's not always positive. I mean, I've got a few comments here and there. Those comments are negative. I mean, people will come on, there's more negative than positive comments because people just like getting on, and it's a deter. It deters people right away a lot of the times where they say, you know what, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Again, this is like the 100th time I've done it, but you go back to the first episode. What is confidence? It's understanding and knowing what you're talking about. When you understand and know what you're talking about, you're able to have conversations. You're able to be your own salesperson. You can get online confident. You realize, you know what? I don't care who's going to say or what's going to happen or what people are going to say. I'm not going to let that affect me. I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm going to know what I'm talking about. I'm going to understand that I want to do something on my own. Or maybe you're just someone who just wants to have more of a positive outlook and they just want to get on for themselves to get on social media and they want to start getting themselves promoted and they're doing lives or doing other things. Understand that it always comes with the people who are sitting at home to say negative comments. You can't let that deter you. It comes with the territory. Like I said on the podcast, I mean, there's times where my closest friend is my wife and we argue, right? She's right half the time. I'm probably right half the time. And it's that balance. It's figuring out, you know what? Am I going to take those as negatives or am I going to turn them into positives like Jason said? Because if you're able to turn those into positives, a lot of times, even some of the times the negative comments that come across, maybe they're not put out there the right way, but they're things that you can learn from. There's things that you can take away from that and actually apply and help you. Some of those people are your best critics or your worst critics, I should say, who are giving you the most pushback. Sometimes you can learn the most from those people. And you have to put your pride aside and you have to realize that just because they're coming on here and they're not saying something positive, you can still take something away from that. You can still move forward and take that negative comment and turn it into something that's going to help you down the road. But I can't tell you enough. When I heard about how Jason basically said, I know this is the thing to do. He knew that it was pulling at him to do it. And he went to his buddy and said, hey, can you make this for me? And he made it for me. And he went and he just started in his basement with his wife, slinging tools. That's the thing that most people need to realize is, and I was just talking to our drafter downstairs about it, Nolan, and it's like you start to realize when you start really diving into some businesses that there's some businesses that have been successful who really don't know what they're doing. But when you're passionate about something and you know what you're doing, think about how much more that can go. Because when people start businesses, they do not have it figured out. That is the encouragement for everybody. When you start businesses or you're looking to make a change in life or you're trying to do something better, the only thing you should realize is that, you know what, I'm passionate about this. This is something that I want to do, so I'm going to do it. And if you fail, you learn from it and you keep moving forward. That is what separates. I mean, just for me recently, gosh, I started another business. I started a podcast. My 9-year-old daughter decided, you know what, Dad, you've got a podcast and a set, so I want to start my own podcast and a set. I said, well, once I get 1,000 subscribers, you can do that. So we started it, Peppy Pickles. And she now starts that with her friends. And for me, I did the same thing I always, oh yeah, I'm just going to start this. I'm going to start moving forward with it. And it's going to be easy. I've already got the set up. And it couldn't have been further from the truth. It was one of the harder things that I've done. I've had stress levels way higher than starting either even Tailored or Confident Risk because every new thing comes with challenges. But there's the two type of people we talked about when you go to those curling matches. There's a person who sits back and complains and thinks to themselves like, ooh, I'm going to be really bad at this. I don't know. Or there's a person who starts studying. He says, you know what? I'm not going to try treating this like an outcome that's my 100th time doing it. I know it's my first time doing it. I know it's going to be tough. So you strap your boots up and you get to it and you start doing it. That's the encouragement for everybody watching today and who watched the episode before. And if you haven't watched it, I encourage you to go watch the episode with Jason. It starts out with somebody who has an idea, who says, you know what, there's risk in me working for somebody. I just need to go and I need to do this on my own. But he built the confidence up by building his prototype, understanding that, you know what, people can use this. I know people can use this because I know I can. And then he saw the need and he hit it running. And then he thought to himself, how can I grow this? And then he got on social media. He wasn't happy. He wasn't comfortable doing it, but he did it anyway. And that's the encouragement for everybody today is that it doesn't necessarily need to be comfortable. You just have to have the drive to do it and follow through with it. Yeah, you might be bad. Yeah, you might hit the speed bumps. But at the end of the day, you have to be willing to push through, know that it's going to get better, and keep grinding. I couldn't have been happier having Jason on here, hearing his story. There were so many reflections back. I could just relate on so many levels. I couldn't believe how many levels that we could actually relate on from the startup to where he is now. It's almost like just that there's that little process that you have to go through. You have the startup, you have the nerves, you think you're doing the wrong thing, you go, you start doing it, and then you start realize, man, how have I not been doing this ever since the beginning? I promise you're going to feel that once you start. Because once you do that one thing, then you start realizing, man, there's a formula here. I could do this in this area. Why can't I do this here? And why can't I do this here? And then that's when you just start realizing to yourself, like, man, I could just go in every single direction and start doing it. Maybe some of you think about that. Maybe that's just me. But you get yourself kind of overwhelmed then at that point of like, man, there's so many opportunities out there, because you get on the other side and you start looking back and like, man, I can't even believe I was in that spot before. Now, that's on a business front. On a personal level, the same things happen. That's not just for business startups. That's for people maybe who have jobs, who are looking to get better jobs. Maybe you're in the situation now where you're just like, maybe I need to improve my mood that I'm in. Maybe I'm just not happy. Those all are just as applicable as the startup business, because you think to yourself like, man, one of the things he said was, I just say yes. And, to each their own, he says yes to a lot of things that he goes and does. But if it makes you uncomfortable, that means you probably should do it. So if you're sitting at home, you're like, man, I'm just not happy with where I'm at in life right now. Maybe I just don't have the friend group that I want. Maybe what are you doing to change that? It's not going to be in your comfort zone. It's going to be outside your comfort zone. You got to step out of your box, meet new people, put yourself in environments where you're going to go do it. I think back to when I first went to college. It was like, you start thinking about the fact, I couldn't imagine if I was on the football team, if I was just going and I didn't really know anybody, I wasn't involved in any organizations. How do you make new friends? Well, you got to go to events. You got to do things to meet new people. There's other people out there in the same situation you're in. Once you start doing that, you start realizing, man, I should have been doing this the whole time. To your job. Maybe you're looking to get the promotion. Maybe you're looking to do something else, or maybe you want to start a different job. Maybe it's not going out on your own. Maybe you just want something new. Then do it. Go start that new thing. It takes getting out of your comfort zone. It's not going to happen sitting in your comfort zone. It's going to happen getting out of your comfort zone. You start doing that. Those are the only ways to find more happiness and to grow yourself, is to get yourself out of your comfort zone. That's the biggest takeaway that I took from when Jason was here, was when he said, you know what? It wasn't comfortable for me, but I did it anyway. And it couldn't be closer to the truth. You want to make improvements. You want to do things better. Figure out what's uncomfortable and go down that road. I promise it won't fail you. I hope you guys are able to take something from today and apply it to your everyday life. If so, please hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Until next time, stay sharp and stay resilient.